you in a minute.
All those questions.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting. It's Monday, May 23rd. The meetings are recorded and broadcast over cable television. And at the beginning of every meeting, we do the Pledge of Allegiance, so everyone please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda tonight is a request for extended hours at King's for a post-prom event. I think we have someone here to represent. Are you here for King's?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. My name is Chris Barrows. I'm the general manager of Kings and Linfield. And we would like to request an extension for Thursday, June 2nd, until 2 a.m., typically close at 1. The event's from 11:30 to 2. It's for an after-prom party. It's 150 students. The school will have 8 chaperones. We'll have a police detail and 15 of our own staff members on. They'll be arriving on 3 buses at 11:30 and leaving at 2. The lounge will be closed. We'll be serving pizza and soda, and they'll just be using our activities and eating pizza.
Great. Now, which school is coming?
I think I just Lynn High School.
It says Lynn High School, but I know there's several Lynn High Schools. Do you know which one?
Who we've been conversing with, Kristen Pironi. Sorry, Catherine Pironi. It just says Lynn Schools on it. I'm sorry.
So obviously, I was just curious which one was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I did speak to the chief of police about this, and we had a couple of requests that we'd like to make.
Absolutely, sir.
First off, they're going to bring their own detail. I assume a school resource officer
Yes,
or something
sir.
along that line. We'd also like to have one Linfield detail there.
We already have one on Thursdays as well, sir.
Okay, great. And then we have a request for one chaperone for every 10 students, which I think they had one for every 20.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think that's the change we made last year.
It was the same change we made last year, correct. So if they're agreeable to that, I think we'd be fine with it.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's follow up and shoot you guys a letter tomorrow, or?
Yes, and
Okay.
then the chief will sign off on it, and
Okay.
you should be all set.
Sounds
Great.
good.
So I'll take a motion from the board.
I'll make a motion to approve the extension of operating hours at King's Bowl of Linfield from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. with the changes as discussed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good
guys.
luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Second item tonight, we're going to approve the refuse and recycling contract. Our DPW Director, Andrew Lafferty, is here. Andrew, welcome.
Evening. I believe you have a copy of the existing contract, or the current contract. I guess pending any questions, I can answer any specifics to it, but there's been some modifications to it. The cost has increased for the collection, but the disposal has gone down, so there is somewhat of a balance to that extent.
Mhm.
And there's been some change in the way recycling is credited to the town also. But
Could you, are those the primary details of the changes?
those
Is
are,
everything else
yeah.
pretty much the same?
those are, yes,
Okay. I know we talked about it the budget season,
correct.
whether or not those savings would offset the increases in full. Do you think they will? You have an opinion on that?
Well, clearly a big part of it depends on what our tonnage is
Right.
through the course of the year. It seems to have trended down. The more we can do to emphasize the recycling, the better we're going to be. If that continues, if it continues the way we're headed right now, the budget that was submitted for this upcoming fiscal year should be adequate.
Any other questions from my board members?
No.
No? No? There wasn't hardly any other changes in there, so
No.
I really didn't have any other questions. Jim, anything?
No,
No?
Andrew did a really good job on
Yeah.
this. He shopped it around. This is not required to go out to bid.
Yep.
But we did put together basically bid packages, and Andrew shopped it to several vendors. And this is the best deal. So commend Andrew for a good job on it. And the board, we just need to approve a contract between the town and JRM Hauling and Recycling Services, Inc. for
Correct.
solid waste and recycling.
Solid waste, recycling, and disposal.
Okay. I'll take a motion for the approval of the new contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the refuse and recycling collection contract with JRM Holland and Recycling Services Incorporated from 2016 to 2021.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Andrew, thank you very much for working on that.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Next item is the community compact issue. We brought this up a couple of months ago, and the community compact is a program that's brought on by the Baker-Polito administration. And what it does is it promotes best practices within towns. And if you adopt some of these best practices, that they have a substantial list of items they'd like you to look at improving within your town, then they will help you from the state level along with these. And a couple of things that we're already looking at fall within their best practices. One of them is the CFAC we have, looking at all the town facilities and coming back with a recommendation to the town. That falls directly within one of their best practices. The other we're talking about is the financial reporting software. We've had a couple of demonstrations. We had one from Unis, one from a company called ClearGov. That's going to be added to our website, and it allows the residents to have a much broader picture of the town finances. So both of those currently come under the community compact. We'd like to approve a community compact agreement with the state. And Jim, do we have any other community compact items that we might add? I think you can apply for 3, but you have to have at least 1.
Yeah, you can apply for 3. I mean, I'd stick with the 2 at this
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
Just because I'd have to be the point person on all 3 of them, so.
Mhm. Okay.
Those are 2 good ones, that if we can knock those off, we can apply for more later.
Yep.
This is something that they intend to keep going. Really, the question for the board is whether you want to put the application in now, or whether you want to wait till July 1st, when really the next round of community compacts are going to be starting up.
See, I would say, because of the conversation I had with the assistant secretary, that we would put it in now, and then July 1 is a new year, and put in a second one, so, and get that one in early, because usually early in the fiscal year, there could be grant money available for some of these things, whereas later in the year, there typically isn't.
Great.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think there's no reason of delaying and not entering into compact right now, at least move in that direction. No reason to wait.
Yeah, it appears there's an advantage to apply now, and then
Okay.
once again after July 1st. So
Send it in first thing in the morning if you approve it.
great. Any questions in the audience? Okay. I'll take a motion to approve community compact agreement with the state.
Make a motion to enter into a community compact agreement with State of Massachusetts and the Baker-Polito administration.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Jim, if you need anything else on that, let us know, and we'll certainly support it.
Yep, no, it's a mechanical process, I'm pretty sure at this point, that I
Yeah.
just gotta.
And then we can look at maybe additional
Yep.
items that are best practices we can tackle after July 1st.
Yep.
Great, thank you. Next item, we're going to talk about the Merit Center policy. We set up a meeting room policy for the Merit Center I remember several months ago with Eric Hamlin, the director, and we had put some certain policies and fee structure in place. And one of the items we want to talk about is we want to get the history of the fees. And I think if I can get Eric out of the back room for a few minutes, we'd like to just talk to him briefly about it. Hopefully the broadcast will keep going.
I have another man manning it.
There you go. Well, hope he zooms right in on you.
He did.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
got extreme close-ups on all of you guys.
Yeah,
right now.
great. So Eric, a couple of the items that have come up that we talked about several months ago, we wanted to see what the experience was going to be before we made any changes, was in particular the idea of renting out the space to anybody that's not a town department, because the town departments can use it without a fee. We agreed that we would charge a fee for any other users in an attempt to hopefully fund an assistant that would help manage the facility, because under your contract, you're not really in charge of the facility, you're in charge of the media center. And you've been kind enough to oversee the facility too, because it's within the same space. But can you tell us briefly what the experience has been on the rental side?
Sure. Rental-wise, we've only actually had 2 rentals since the facility's been opened. One was the Gaslight Restaurant. They utilized it for a training facility for the day. They were very nice people, very good users. They paid the $500 under what we wrote the policies and procedures to reflect. And then another one, I'm not going to say the person's name, it was just a local resident who had a private business who wanted to rent it for a business meeting for the day. And he paid the $250 under the resident full day rate, which was 8 hours. And again, both really nice users. We're not having a lot of users as far as the paying portion goes. I think if we wanted that to happen, I think we would have to solicit that. I think we'd have to put that into some type of a position where they would actually have to go out and look for people within, whether that be Market Street or adjoining towns or whatever that may be. But that's where that's at right now. I mean, primarily, we've had 198 uses since the facility was open in 2014. That equates to, with the numbers of people that have been in there, we're somewhere in the number of 1,900 to 2,000 people that have crossed through the doors to utilize the space. Most of those, the primary usages have been, under the policies and procedures, have been elected town groups. Some examples: Linfield Fire Training, Linfield Police Training, LHS School Training, Townscape, Linfield EMS Training, Recreation Department, CFAC, Finance Committee, Candidates Night, Election Recounts, Board of Selectmen, Pipeline Meetings. It can go on and on. There's quite a lengthy use of the room. Boston Herald came in for that live broadcast. So my only comment would be, I think that the room we've had, I would like to say as high as a 99% satisfaction rate in there. I think it's been a really positive, no matter who's utilized that room, from the key handoffs to the usage of the room. We've had some minimal wear and tear stuff that we're going to see. We've minimized, as per the policies, which I think was a wise idea on the board's side, was we utilized we didn't have a lot of food usage in there because it's a carpeted area. Now we have the stuff like with the coffee, you have the staining on there. It happens. It's just, but as far as the wear and tear in the room, it probably is up to par with the number of people that we've had utilizing the space. The only thing I'd like to see change a little is perhaps the users are a little more cognizant of the next person in line, so maybe they're wiping stuff down a little bit or something that's not leaving it. And I can't remember I just want to give him a shout out, but I don't remember his last name, but John, who's from the DPW, you probably know his last name.
Paddock.
What is his last name?
Paddock.
He's phenomenal. He's done a phenomenal job. Anytime I've ever texted him for the next day, I'll be like, hey, there's a large event in there. Can you come by? He's always there, always pleasant, always taking care of the place.
He does the cleaning. He's the custodian. Yeah, great.
Good guy. And we kind of share our responsibility. If there's times he's tied up, I mean, I have set rooms up and wiped things down and put tables away. I mean, I try not to, but I've done that as well, too. So my only comment going in is, I'm just going to make this comment real quick, is right now, we chatted before, I think the key word here is it's manageable right now.
Yeah.
My concerns are that if we start to, open these doors really wide, it becomes unmanageable, or the wear and tear becomes above what we are not pulling in for finances to cover that cost. I mean, I'm there all the time. I see the usage. In general, people are very, cognizant of the rules and regulations.
Sure.
But it does, on the access side, it is a little disruptive for us sometimes. It's just there's no way around it right now. I just don't know if there's any way to maybe that egress in the back to change that as an entrance at some point. I don't know. I know we talked about that at one point. I don't know how that would work to kind of.
So they aren't walking through your space to get to that space.
Exactly. Because what happens is, again, and I love everybody. Honestly, everybody that's been in has been great. They really have been. But let's say a group of 40 comes in and they take a bathroom break. Now I got 40 people running out. I'm trying to edit or something, and they're just being friendly, like, hey, how you doing? What do you do? And now, 2 hours of my time is gone. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, when you get taken away from your workflow, it really throws you for a loop.
Yeah.
So, that would be helpful. But I still think, too, I think that the kid purpose of this, I think as long as we keep meeting structures in there and not, it's just not a function room, and I don't think it ever will be a function room. I think would be opening up a door, especially when you have some place like the meeting house that I was talking to Linda recently, and they enjoy that you have that full kitchen, and something falls on the floor over there, that hardwood, you can clean it up nicely. It's just a more, you know, you don't have to go through and worry about security on that end. You just get the key and go, you know, unlock the door. So, I mean, those are some concerns I just wanted to throw out there. Again, I think everybody that's used the place, I've enjoyed, you know, anybody that's been in here that's used the place has done a nice job.
Great. Well, I think one of the reasons I wanted to bring you in and talk about it was based on the limited amount of rental that you've been getting. And it was certainly a trial period. You want to see what kind of demand there was. If there was enough demand to create an income flow there, and it doesn't seem to be that that's the case. So what I would like to propose is that we look at opening that up to the Linfield nonprofit groups. Because it is a media and cultural center. And, you know, your side's the media, that side's the, supposed to be the cultural, it's supposed to be available to Linfield residents. And I would think we've got to, why don't we take a look at what kind of demand occurs if we open it up to the nonprofits in town. Right now, we want to charge them. There's other spaces available within town that they've been using. I don't know if they meet at their houses. They can, you know, can meet anywhere, but this will give them a community space that they can use. The cultural groups have voiced their wishes that they would love to have that space available for them. So I would certainly like to consider opening that up to the nonprofits and the cultural groups in town. Any Linfield-based nonprofit at this point is what I was thinking. And you can still control the flow, because obviously you have to open it up and allow them in and out. And that would be obviously during the weekdays. The other subject that comes out is whether or not anything can happen on the weekends. You're not there, it's not your hours of work. The building's locked up on the weekends, so you'd have to get the security up at Market Street to open it. So the weekends are a little tougher. There's no one to man it, and I don't know if the weekends is something we can offer anybody at this point, unless it's on a fee basis to anybody, and whether or not they would you know, be able to man it yourself. Because if you're in charge of the doors and the keys, can you get into the outside door?
Yes, I mean, I have access to the building.
Yeah, on the weekends too. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because I mean, sometimes, you know, a lot of times during the winter I'm up there. My son works, he's 16, he works locally, so I end up going upstairs, and I could do other things, but I get work done. You know, it's just stuff that I do, so you can get in there. But it's, you know, it's not manned at all, really, and all the tenants are gone on the weekend, so it's a very, you know, I hate to use that cliche thing, idle hands, you know, but it's like when somebody's not watching something, you may be more apt to try to do something that, you know, you shouldn't do, like bringing food in or things of that nature.
Well, I know the
you
property manager and the other tenants in the building are concerned about people being in the building on the weekends.
Yes,
So if we have it, we would have to have supervised use if we did anything on the weekend.
correct.
Which they would obviously have to arrange through you. And so I wanted you just to consider allowing that if you have availability, be able to do it on a weekend, possible, if you can do it.
Does the current policy allow that?
The current policy does not take that into account at all.
No.
No.
And I don't know, to be honest with you, this is a question for Jim, but I mean, I had to sign that non-conflicting contract, you know, and I kind of think that falls into it, sort of. Like, in other words, if you're paying me for that and I'm getting paid for my access portion, you know, I don't know how that works. But that might be a question for Jim.
Jim, do you have an answer to that? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, could we get a fee
I can
paid
make
to the
one
town
up.
and he could put in,
What's that?
I can make one up.
Excellent.
could he put in for hours on a weekend through the town?
Yeah, the
for-
question would be where he would fall under the Fair Labor Standard Act as to whether or not that would be overtime or not.
Right.
The presumption is that he would not be exempt from the Fair Labor Standard Act. There's a process you have to go through, but the expectation would be he would not be exempt, so he would have to get paid overtime to work hours on a Sunday.
And that would be the
Should be time and a
expectation.
half.
I mean, obviously the expectation is, because I know there's groups out there that would like to utilize it on the weekends, Linfield-based groups,
Mhm.
that, I know you're not always gonna be around on the weekends, but if he's available and they're willing to fund that, that would open up that possibility of the All Merit Center on the weekend.
Right, and the other issue could be if we had someone that we would hire to do that instead of Eric, they would get paid straight time on the weekends
Mhm.
as opposed to time and a half. But you have to find someone you could trust, someone that would want to do it, someone that Market Street would find acceptable to be opening and closing that building. I think that's going to be one of the issues here. Is I don't think they're going to want us in there on the weekend, and that could cause some friction with them. But that's something we could look into. Also, the other problem on the weekends is the parking up there is awful. I'm not sure what do you want to have up there on the weekend when the mall's open. It's kind of hard to park up there. But I would have to look at Eric's job description to find out whether or not he was exempt from the Fair Labor Standards Act. I would think he was not. So he'd have to get time and a half, whatever his rate is, to be in there on a Sunday.
Well, I think that would be an incentive for Eric, maybe Eric to want to put some time up there if you want. Get some extra hours on the weekend, some,
I don't have any aversion to cash, I'll tell you.
yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
Well-
if somebody wants to do that, it's fine by
Yeah.
me. As long as I can work out my schedule, I'm game, but yeah, I mean,
I mean,
whatever you guys
it's a good
figure out.
opportunity to at least have available to us. I mean, we can deny it because we
Yeah.
don't have the manpower to do it.
Right.
And still, those groups will understand that, but you may be restricted just to Linfield groups
Sure.
to this point, Linfield-based groups.
But Jim has a good point. I mean, I have a really good relationship with these guys from day one, and I mean, we have a really high trust factor, you know what I mean? And I have a really good communication with these guys. So, if you do bring somebody in and they don't know them, there's going to be a little heat there for a while until they get used to that person. I mean, anything's doable, but I'm game on whatever. If you guys figure that out and it can work, then great.
I would think if we used anybody but you, would have to be somebody that's familiar with the facility.
Yeah.
And maybe one of your co-workers that you bring in and train.
Yeah, Josh can just cut me 80% and he can take the 20,
There you go. Well, I think that's, what I would like to suggest we entertain, and, I'd like to see what the rest of the board, how they feel about it, and if that's something that
I think I
you'd like
both those
to,
policy changes.
to bring in, yeah?
Yeah.
So you'd like to bring in, open it up to the nonprofits, Linfield
Yeah, I think
nonprofits?
it'd be at no fee, not,
At no fee.
at no fee, I like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And I think open up the opportunity in the weekend, Eric, and I mean, that's certainly,
No, and as like I say, if I can work that in my schedule, I have no problem doing that. I
All
mean,
based on your schedule.
yeah, exactly.
All based on your schedule.
The only thing, can we keep I think we've been really successful with these policies though. Like let's say the football guys want to come in and they want to bring all these like teenage kids in. I think we should really stick to the meeting aspect of this.
Right.
And not, because what's going to happen is you got an active restaurant, Fugaku, right underneath. You start hearing stuff on the floor, whatever. It's got to still be, I think, be meeting based.
yeah.
So I think as long, and there's still, the reality is I still have two $6,000 remote cameras and that 65-inch monitor that are wide open, plus that retractable wall that a kid could get hurt on. So I think we should just keep that, that it's strictly like still a meeting, even if we're opening it to nonprofits, and perhaps not demonstrations either. Like we shoot a lot of those historical society. They do those art demos.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. They're really, really neat artists and really cool artwork. But they bring those paints in and stuff. And again, I just worry about stuff like getting all over the floor. And again, it's carpeting. It's perhaps in retrospect, that was a bad flooring choice. It should have been maybe hardwood or something. But again, you look at this stuff and you're just like, eh. So, I mean, that would be again, being somebody who's there 24, not 24/7, that'd be a bit much. But I'm there all the time. I see this usage, and that would be my extra comment.
Well, there certainly seems to be enough space here to set up a small cot in a bedroom for you.
Well, I have been living there for the last 3 months.
So I didn't have any intentions of suggesting that we make it a function hall.
Okay.
I don't think we should change the other provisions in our policy. I think we just want to open it up to for other uses
Okay.
within town, because it is supposed to be a Linfield Community Center.
No,
and
absolutely.
have community use there. We're just
Right.
trying to figure out the best way to run it.
Sure.
So, Dick, do you have some thoughts on it?
No, I think this goes back and is consistent with what the original intent was when we all talked back years ago on the Merit Center, what it would mean to the community. So I think the no fee aspect of it during the week for the Linfield nonprofits, to me, is what we should have been doing all along, quite frankly.
Great.
But as long as if we do have something that's non-Linfield based, as a for instance, the gentleman who rented it for his business,
Right.
that would still fall under these
Under
fees
the
then.
fee base, right.
Absolutely.
Because he's using it, it's not like for town, development, it's,
Correct.
okay, so we still keep that in
The
place.
rest of the policies will stay in place.
Okay.
We're just opening up the Linfield faith-based nonprofits
Gotcha.
as part of the Linfield departments that are now exempt from the fees. Okay?
Sounds
And
good.
the weekend usage,
And possible weekend usage if you can arrange it. That's-
Because I know there's something in the pipeline right now that there's a possible weekend usage, so that
Yeah.
somebody can call me on that and we can chat.
Yeah.
But I think as Chris said too, I mean, it's, if you can't do it, you
Yeah,
can't
and
do it.
Right.
I mean, if staffing's available, fine.
Exactly.
Depend on
Jim,
the
could you look into
availability.
whether that's, how that would work into his contract, or how we, on the,
Yeah, I mean, I have to look at his contract.
funding side?
I'm almost positive he'd have to get overtime.
Right.
So you'd have to amend the policy in two places. One, to strike out the no weekend use.
Right.
And put in some sort of language that, weekend use is permitted on a case-by-case basis depending upon availability of staff.
Right.
And then on your fee base, you'll have to amend it there also to, Linfield organizations, no charge, except weekends, when they'll be charged the actual cost of the staffing.
Right.
Along those lines.
Right. Getting all that, Bob?
I wrote it down too.
Jeez.
I just I need to pull the two, the revolving funds we set up too, to see whether we could use those.
Okay.
I think we can,
For the weekend fees?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that they would pay us, it would go into that fund, and then we would pay whomever was staffing it that day out of that fund.
Okay.
Because my recollection was, we had left it broad enough that if we had to hire, that it got so busy that we had to hire someone just to staff the place, that they could be paid out of that, so.
Yeah.
I'll look at his contract, but there's a way to do this.
Okay.
If I get overtime my rate, if I do it, I'll come up and do it too.
Yeah, you come up. Yeah, drive up to Norwell, that'd be great.
Time and a half of my rate.
Pay for your gas.
Just a final thought. You had mentioned on expanding some of the business that we do.
Oh, sure.
Without putting a salesperson on the road, so to say, but, the local chamber, different organizations, I mean, even maybe just get some basic mailings out to make those organizations aware of it. I don't know if that's done now, or,
No, I mean, people do that. I had thought about this, but I don't know if this will go against what we're doing. But if I put a bulletin up, isn't that kind of crossing the threshold of the bulletins are for community access? But if I put a bulletin together that says Marriage Center now available for blah, 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 is that crossing the line on the access side? Or is that,
On the public channel?
yeah, like if I just laid it on the public channel, because it runs 24/7 in
You-
between the programming.
The issue we found for like the Rotary and the Chambers of Commerce, they like to have food.
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah.
just so the members know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
a businessman who belongs to
Right.
Rotary says, well, I'd like to have a training session for my employees.
Right.
I think a lot more people would utilize it, because I was at a business meeting and I had mentioned it, that this was available just down the street and they didn't know.
Yeah.
I said, well, where we were was nothing compared to what the Merit Center had.
Well, the amenities, even with that, the PowerPoint presentations,
Oh,
being
it's
able to
amazing.
plug right in the wall now, not have to hold that dinosaur out, and then you can hardly see it on a wall. I mean, it's awesome. And plus, you go out for lunch. It's good for everybody up there. So,
I think people enjoy the configuration of the seating too. You can make an octagon and everybody can face each other. It's a
Yeah.
big circle. It is nice for meetings of 10 to 15 people.
That's great.
Work very well in there.
it's not restricting because you guys use it like with the straight lines. That it always works out nice for you.
Yeah.
And then, the war room, as I used to like to call it, the octagon.
Yeah.
But it is nice to be able to look across. So,
Sure.
anyway, I don't want to take any more time because
Well-
I'm sure everybody's looking to get out of here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Eric.
No worries.
Eric,
Nice seeing
thank you as
everybody.
always.
Any
Thank you.
questions? Any questions from the residents? Okay.
You want to vote on something tonight, or do you
Yeah,
want
wha-
me to?
Well, I would take a motion to vote on making these changes if
We can take a,
my fellow members feel. Take a shot at it?
yeah, we'll try. I mean, Jim, do you want to, it has to be specific to those
I would do
policies?
two. The first one would be to amend paragraph number 7, striking the last sentence and inserting in place thereof, weekend use will be permitted on a case-by-case basis depending upon availability of staff.
So amend paragraph 7 by striking it. And what was the language? I apologize.
Inserting the following, weekend use will be permitted on a case-by-case basis depending upon availability of staff.
Week by week basis. Depend on availability of staff.
Yeah.
All right. I make a motion to amend paragraph 7 by striking it and inserting in its place, weekend use is permitted on a week-by-week basis, depending on the availability of staff,
Case by case.
Case by
basis.
case.
case-by-case basis.
Depending on availability of staff, okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's one.
And then you'd have to, on the fee schedule, rental of meeting room fee categories, you'd strike that first sentence, Linfield resident, where it starts Linfield resident.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Well, you'll have to put in,
Well, you would leave
You wouldn't
Linfield
strike-
resident. We're only gonna do it for the nonprofit organizations in town.
So
well,
could we just
but
add?
resident does refer to homeowners association, public election.
Right, there's other,
Right.
we could add it to the town committees and boards that have no charge.
No, but I think to be consistent in this first part, you'd want to put in on the weekend, because that's when you
Yeah,
are charging.
we have to put something in there, so you still wanna charge residents, but you wanna let,
So residents would be
nonprofits.
basically free during the week and charged on the weekend.
well,
But they're nonprofit.
I mean,
We'll say
hearing-
nonprofit and no fee.
right.
It's Linfield-based nonprofit organizations.
Okay, so we would wanna put in, Linfield-based nonprofit organizations. Will be allowed to use the room at no charge,
No charge,
Period.
except for,
period. However, weekend use of the facility, how do I put this? Any weekend use of the facility will require the organization to cover the cost of applicable staff.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Right.
Did you get all that? 'Cause I already forgot it. All right.
Okay.
Were we gonna add that, just under the meter room rental fees?
The rental of meeting room, yeah.
so just so it's clear, so we talk Linfield nonprofits.
Right.
Okay,
Linfield-based nonprofits.
right.
Linfield-based
Then
nonprofit
Linfield
organizations.
resident is now a separate category. from
Separate
that.
category that will still be
Okay.
charged.
We're just adding nonprofit
Right, okay.
under Linfield resident?
No, under the, a separate heading for.
Yeah, so under the
some
meter room
sort-
rental fees we'll be
Right.
charging. Yeah.
Because we have an exception there for town committees, boards, commissions, and departments, no charge.
Yes,
Now we can say Linfield-based nonprofits can also be no charge except for weekends.
So under that subject right there, category. All right, I make a motion to add the language under the heading Town Committees, Boards, Commissions, Departments. Make a motion to add Linfield-based nonprofit organizations will be allowed to use the Al Merritt Center at no charge. However, any weekend usage would need to cover the cost of applicable staff.
That sounds good.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Jim, were there any other places that we thought we need to have a change?
That was the only two I found.
Okay, great. Gentlemen, thank you. Next, we're gonna talk about the ambulance collection contract. I believe that got bid out recently. Chief,
Yes,
you wanna talk to us about that?
I do. Did you get a copy of the recommendation? Okay. So, as you know, we've been struggling with our enterprise account to cover the cost of our ambulance service. And one area we identified last year was that maybe we could do better with our billing. So we had a meeting with our billing company and kind of set everything on the table and said, you need to do a better job or we're gonna have to rebid it. And they haven't come forward to do that, so we decided to rebid the contract. We put out an RFP, put it in the General Register, I believe it's called. Invited people to put in an RFP for ambulance billing. Based on that, we got 4 responses back. Armstrong Billing Service, Coastal Medical Billing, Comstar Incorporated, and Pro EMS Solutions. and we had they all had different pricing and different conditions on what they would be able to do for us. But the cost came in with Armstrong charging us 5% of the net, Coastal Medical Billing 3.99, Comstar 3, and Pro EMS Solutions 4%. We looked at their collection rate. Right now, our current collection rate is 78% of what we bill that's allowed. Armstrong was their collection rate for their business was 86%. Coastal was 93.4, Comstar was 95, and Pro EMS Solutions was 98. So based on those two criteria, Armstrong was the highest cost and the lowest on collection, so we eliminated them based on that. Then we looked at our selection criteria, and there were
Bless you.
Pro EMS Solutions was the only one that that addressed all of our selection criteria. One thing that the other providers did not address was the cardiac registry to enhance survival data registry system. What that is, it's a system where they collect all the data on cardiac arrest and provide input as to survivability and what we can do to improve in the future and improve our patient outcomes. And Pro EMS Solutions is the only one that was able to do that for us. The other area where Pro EMS excelled was the hardware and reporting requirements in the RFP. Two of the bidders didn't even address it. So you could assume that if they weren't going to provide us the hardware for reporting, that it would fall back to the town and also the maintenance of that hardware. So based on that, we again, Pro was the only one that met that criteria. And then Pro's presentation was by far the best. They answered the questions that we had in the RFP and then some, and they actually showed us an example of a community they did billing for, and it was in a similar situation to Linfield with struggling with collections, and they actually showed us how they improved their collections and improved their system. So based on that, we recommend that we select Pro EMS Solutions as our billing company for the town of Linfield. I brought our assistant EMS coordinator, Chris Allender, with me tonight,
Hi, Chris.
who has far more experience in the medical field than I do, and really got into the nuts and bolts of the proposals. If you had any questions that I can't answer, I'm sure Chris can.
Well, I understand your recommendation. I understand your reasons for the recommendation. I certainly are going to defer to you and your department on that. I certainly, I was shocked when I found out Action was only around 78%, the current billing company. We were disappointed with it. I'm glad you did put this out to bid. I appreciate that we've been able to find somebody that, that 20% based on $1 million is a lot of money.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It absolutely is.
So I applaud you for that. As far as the way the system works, I really don't have any questions for you, Chris. I'm not that familiar with it myself, so I don't know if my fellow board members have any technical questions or anything along that way.
No, not technical questions, but I guess I would ask, just for my own curiosity, on the historical collection rates, what kind of confidence do you have that their responses were they verifiable, I guess?
I don't really have any way of verifying them other than what they told us. I do know in dealing with Comstar in a previous life that seems pretty accurate. And speaking with the fire chief in Norwell, it seems as though Pro's estimate was fairly accurate. So I don't have any reason to think the other providers were not telling the truth. But the two that I could somewhat verify were fairly accurate.
And then, as part of that, will we get references before you make a final decision? In line, that helps with the historical rates to hear from Norwell and other communities. Yeah, that seems reasonable. That's how
They
they
did, they
perform
did
for us.
list several references, and I have made contact with some of the fire chiefs of those communities. And, you know, I've had some that expressed some concerns with some companies. No one expressed concerns about Pro EMS Solutions,
Okay.
or Coastal Medical Billing.
Jim, what was your experience with them when you were in Norwell?
Comstar was outstanding. We
Yeah.
had a great great
Comstar or Pro?
Pro AMS, sorry, they were fantastic. We had a great relationship with them. They were in the very high 90s on collection.
Yeah.
And I think one of the key was the handheld devices that they provided that lets the staff, it really is a time saver as well as a billing help that when these guys are coming back from a run, they can be inputting the data in real time, getting it out timely, quickly, accurately. And then we don't have to worry about those. If we break one of the tablets, they give us another one, fix the old one. It's completely out of our hands. But we had a very, very good relationship with Pro EMS.
Great.
And if you remember, Mr. Chairman, this came up, the ambulance contract, the billing contract came up almost right after I started.
Yep.
And we had several meetings with Action and gave them the opportunity to rectify some of the situation that we were dealing with, and the collections have not improved. So we made a decision pretty shortly after that we were going to pay this out.
Great. Chris, anything?
No, I think, Phil, as you said, that increase of 20% is a big number, that financial piece. That's something we certainly can understand as a Board of Selectmen. I'll leave the Fire and Emergency Services to the two of you. I think if we could hold them to that, I think that's a big plus for Linfield, obviously.
Yeah, one of the things the providers asked for was some of our historical data and what our rates were. And immediately the representative from Pro said, well, there's part of your problem, your rates are too low. So I think he's gonna be able to provide us some feedback to maybe adjust our rates to be more competitive as well.
Great. I think it also supports the new staffing model a little better too. You can
Yes.
bring those extra funds. Great. So you need a vote of the board because of the length of the contract?
Need a vote of the board. It's historically been your contract.
Yeah.
So just a vote of the board to award the ambulance billing contract to Pro EMS Solutions.
And how many year contract is it? Is this a 5-year?
It's a 3-year contract with 2 one-year
Two
extensions.
extension years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who holds the extension?
Town. It's town's option.
It's always up to the town, on
Perfect.
extensions, yeah.
It's town's option.
Great. Well, I'll take a motion to approve the new ambulance billing contract with Pro EMS Solutions.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
You don't have to go too far, Chief.
No.
You don't have to go too far, Chief. I got the next item for you also. The interlocal contract for cooperative purchasing.
In looking at buying a new fire truck, in the neighborhood of $500,000, we decided to look and see what's out there as opposed to bidding the contract. And the Massachusetts Association of Fire Chiefs has a bidding consortium. And one of our vendors recommended we look at the Houston Galveston consortium. And it's one of the largest in the country. The fees are, for most things, are free, with the exception of large capital purchases like fire trucks. Fire trucks, their fee is $2,000, whether you buy 1 fire truck or 10 fire trucks. So, and I spoke with several chiefs that have utilized the Houston Galveston consortium. There's over 100 members that are Massachusetts communities. The Pittsfield, Massachusetts fire chief said he saved thousands of dollars on his last truck purchase, which they just recently took delivery of. The Manchester, New Hampshire Fire Department has just gone to the Houston Galveston bid process, and they're buying fire trucks a lot more frequently than we are. I think it might be a way for us to get the biggest bang for our buck, so to speak, on a new fire truck purchase. They do offer a number of manufacturers. Some of the consortiums that I've looked at have a pretty limited number of manufacturers that participate. This HGAC has several to choose from. So I think we can probably get the biggest bang for the town in the purchase.
Do we have any hope of getting any other grant money or anything for the new fire truck, or is it?
Probably
so
not.
It's tough for us to get.
I just got word from FEMA Region 1 that our fire truck purchase didn't make it to peer review, so it was eliminated in the computer. And especially where we're buying a new fire truck, that's gonna put us even further behind as far as grants for fire trucks. We did make it to peer review for our communications grant, which means that we have a 50-50 chance of getting funded for that grant.
I see this is a one-year contract.
It is, it automatically renews at the fiscal year. So like I said, there's no upfront cost, and most items are, the fee is paid by the bidders who have joined to provide their product. So we're not incurring cost except for the $2,000 for a fire truck purchase.
Well, it doesn't seem like it has any downside for the town at all.
So what else, just out for my own curiosity, would you be able to purchase on an ongoing basis? Smaller items that you'd?
There are several smaller items. I know they do ambulances, police cars, dump trucks, medical supplies, rescue equipment. So that I haven't really researched exactly how large an assortment of items, but I know that there's a lot. And like I said, vehicles was kind of the big thing I was looking at.
Sure.
Because we're probably looking at an ambulance in the not too distant future.
So this opportunity will be open to all of Linfield departments?
Yes.
Sure. Any questions in residents? No? Well, I'll take a motion to enter into the new contract with the interlocal cooperative purchasing.
Make a motion to approve the interlocal contract for cooperative purchasing with Houston Galveston Area Council.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have an original there I need to sign? Okay.
Jim, while you're doing that, I don't know if we have two representatives from the Recreation Commission here, and they're way down the bottom of the agenda. I don't know if you wanted to take them out of order and move them up, or...
They look like they're having fun,
They
I
have a
mean.
good time over there, don't they?
Trying to do something nice for them, not even paying attention.
We were trying to get you out of here early, but no, we already passed by now.
Just a suggestion.
Yeah, well, I don't have any problem moving them up. It's not a problem at all.
Claim first-timer status.
Rich Soberg.
Good evening,
Welcome.
gentlemen. Good evening,
Good evening,
Chairman,
Rich.
Mr. Barrett, Mr. Dalton. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Recreation Commission. We have applied for a one-day liquor license for the Country Fest that we are in the process of putting together. It will take place on July 23rd on the town common. We have had conversations with Chief Breen regarding police services that he would like us to have on that day, which would include 5 officers. 4 would cover the different perimeter areas, and then 1 officer within the property, the party, I would say, in the property that was would be happening. We have hired New England bartend. We have discussed with New England Bartending Services to bring in their professional services to provide the beer and wine and all beverages, the non-alcoholic beverages for that day as well. They are a well-established professional company. They provided us with, you see in the package, with each of their employees' ServSafe certifications, their certificate of insurance, and the different types of beverages that'll be available on that day. Also on that day, we have 2 bands coming in. Annie Probst is the headliner, and the Hurlin Brothers are the undercard, if you will. Not that they would like to be called an undercard. It should be a fun day. It's also a day where we'll have food available. I don't know if we is it the Big Pig vendor? So it'll be the Big Pig will be providing the barbecue food that day. It'll be a ticketed party. And if you have any questions about it, I'd be certainly glad to answer those or help in any way I
I
can.
see the hours for the bartending is gonna be 3 to 8. What is, I have a very cryptic
Sure.
copy here, so of the, of
Mine
the
might be slightly
application, so-
darker if that helps you.
So,
So the entire length of the event is 3 to 8. The
Yep.
bartenders would arrive at 1:30 that day to begin setup.
sure. And what are the hours for the bands?
So the bands are correct.
And they go right up to 8 o'clock.
Up to
and
8.
everything gets shut down.
Correct.
Great. I know we aren't approving the band here, but I'm just curious.
And the whole area is gonna be barricaded off around the common.
Yeah, I know we've used this service before. They
Mhm.
got a very good review.
Yep. So I guess just to give you a little further detail, as Julie mentioned, the entire area would be barricaded as it is a ticketed event.
Right.
The area to the, I guess if you're facing the common from here,
Mhm.
that lower grassy area to the left is where the beer garden, as we're calling it,
Sure.
would be. And again, that would also be enclosed.
And is the recreation staff gonna monitor the area well during the
So
ceremony?
the monitoring of
day?
that area will be done by New England Bartending
They'll monitor
Services.
their own? Okay,
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
while you guys are doing the rest.
Yep.
Is it a single detail or?
There'll be multiple details, but there'll be a detail
Just
for
for the
the,
beer?
for the beer and wine
Correct.
section too.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Great. Any other questions?
No.
No? No? Good. Residents, any? No? Great. I'll take a motion to approve the Country Fest application for a one-day liquor license.
Make a motion to approve Country Fest or Linfield Recreation's request of Country Fest one-day liquor license on July 23rd, 2016, from 3 to 8 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Good luck.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, good luck.
Thanks, Rick.
Excuse me, Phil? Is it all ages event, or they have to be over 21 to go?
For the event itself? Is there any restriction on the event for
No,
ages?
so the event's going to be geared towards an adult event, but
Yeah.
children will certainly be allowed. But within the beer garden area, it would be adults only.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Julie, thank you.
Good night, Julie.
All right. Next item we're gonna talk about is the appointment of the War Memorial Committee as special municipal employees. This is a provision on the state's Ethics Commission for, to prevent any conflict of interest. We've done this before for other committees. You appoint the entire committee. You're not appointing a person to a special, you appoint the members of the committees. So the entire committee would be appointed, so they can also bring matters in front of the boards within the town without it being a conflict. So it would cover the entire 9-member committee. So I would take a motion to appoint the War Memorial Committee as special municipal employees.
I'll make a motion to designate members of the War Memorial Committee as special municipal employees.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next item, we have the appointment of a vacation replacement building official. This came from Jack Roberto, our building inspector. He would like to add a gentleman by the name of Stephen Melanson for replacement. And when they're on vacation or unable to take care of their duties, Jim, any?
Yeah, we
Comments?
appointed one at the last meeting. Jack
Yeah.
likes to have two,
Yeah.
to cover any extenuating circumstances. Mr. Melanson is certified. He's very well respected in the
Mhm.
field and comes highly recommended by Jack.
Great. Seems to have all the proper qualifications. I think if Jack's recommending him, I have no problem with him. Any from the board members?
No issues.
No? I'll take a motion
Make,
to appoint Mr. Melanson.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item, the MOU with the Library Employee Bargaining Unit. Jim, you want to go over that quickly with us?
Sure, this is the first one for the town contracts with the library employees. They're represented by the American Federation of Teachers. It's really mostly cleaning up a lot of issues that were in the contract, updating it. There was no Family Medical Leave reference in the contract. There was no Small Necessities Leave Act mentioned in the contract. There was no parental leave mentioned in the contract. Those are all federal statutes that we have to comply with. Those were put in.
Mhm.
We cleaned up some of the other language, and as is the custom in Linfield, the COLA would be the same as that which was given to the teachers' union, which was 2.5% for each of the fiscal years involved.
3 years, 2.5% a year?
Yep.
Any questions?
None.
No? No? Okay. We'll take a motion to approve the MOU with the library union.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Jim, thank you for working on that.
Gotta get the rest of them done now,
Yeah. One down, 6 to go?
something like that, yeah.
Every time we convene a new board, we reassign the Board of Selectmen liaisons throughout the town. I can just go over quickly what the list is. Council on Aging is myself. Board of Appeals, Dick Dalton. Board of Assessors, Dick Dalton. Cable Access Advisory Committee is Chris Barrett. Capital Facilities Advisory Committee is Dick Dalton. Conservation Commission is Chris Barrett. The DPW and Finance Committee are both myself. The Fire Department is Dick Dalton. The Golf is myself. The Board of Health is Dick Dalton. Library is myself. Library Building Committee is Chris Barrett. The MAPC is Alan Dressios. The MBTA Advisory Board is Dick Dalton. The MWRA is James Finnegan. Market Street Development is myself. North Shore Regional Voc is Chris Barrett. North Suburban Planning Agency is Dick Dalton. Peabody Municipal Light, Chris Barrett. Planning Board and Police are both Dick Dalton. Reading Municipal Light Department, it'll be handled by David Nelson. Recreation Commission, Chris Barrett. Recreation Park Advisory Committee is myself. Recreational Path Committee and Recycling Committee are both Dick Dalton. The School Department is Chris Barrett, and the Veteran Services and Zoning Enforcement Departments are both myself. So basically, it's the same as we had last year for Chris and I, and Dick will take over the vacated spots, except he took over the CFAC committee. So, and we have the 3 residents that handle those other 3 that we mentioned, and they stayed on for another year. So that also allows people, if they want to call or have a comment on any of these boards, to call the appropriate liaison. They can and they can bring that matter up to town hall. Do we need to vote on that, or are we all set?
No, it's usually the chairman's prerogative.
No, I don't think we need to vote. Great. Next item is the update on the Kinder Morgan Gas Pipeline Project. Some current events that just happened, we got notified today. I don't know if you want to go over what's happened leading up to this, but this kind of X's it all out, so.
Yeah, I may hit it with your best shot right at the
Yeah, I might as
beginning.
well
That's
just
what I
start
would
with
say.
this. We got notification today that the Kinder Morgan pipeline application at the federal level with FERC has been withdrawn, and the pipeline is completely shut down at this point. So that's good news for everybody. In Linfield, particularly the North Hill area, and anybody that would have been affected by it. But there's dozens of communities along the proposed pipeline route that we're certainly happy for. And again, with the with the introduction of the Spectra pipeline, that's going on a more southern route in Massachusetts and through West Roxbury when it gets to our coast. That line is still in the works and moving forward, I believe. And I believe this was more of a race to see who could get the pipeline in first. And with that pipeline in place, assuming it does finally get all done and in place, I hope in the future it alleviates any more discussion about a pipeline coming up through the northern part of Mass and into Linfield. So that's good news. Again, they've shut it down at both the state and the federal level. So very happy for everybody. Next item is our public comment period. If we have any residents that'd like to bring up something in front of the board, we're not going to discuss it. You can bring up a subject you'd like, and maybe we consider it for a future discussion. But anybody like to bring something up? Talk about it? No? Okay.
Well, I did send you all letters today with my concerns on the War Memorial.
Yeah, we haven't even, yeah, I appreciate that, so thank you.
And I would like to see more really discussed.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I know we can't discuss it because it's public comment, but we could certainly, we're gonna share that with the war committee itself, and so they can look at the War Memorial Committee to share your concerns.
I did speak with Jason briefly,
Okay.
and I would like to know when they meet, because I would like to go to meetings, and I think there's got to be more people than myself that would be interested.
Oh, I think there would be,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I did send you the letter, and I've also sent a letter to the editor in favors.
Great.
I didn't know where else to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't understand the article that I saw in the agenda today about making the committee municipal employees.
Mm-hmm.
So I just came on to listen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Before we go into executive session, we have a couple of housekeeping items. We have the family gathering request at the Knights of Columbus. It's been signed off by the chief. It's for June 4th, about 80 people for a family gathering. Any comments, questions? No? I'll take a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the one-day liquor license on June 4th, 2016 at the Knights of Columbus.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And the last item in open session will be the approval of the notes of March 21st. Chris?
Make a motion to approve the minutes on March 21st, 2016.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. At this point, we're going to go into executive session under Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss collective bargaining strategy for which an open discussion may adversely affect the town's negotiating position. I'll take a roll call. Selectman Barrett?
Yeah, aye.
Selectman